My name is Candice Sanderson, and today I'm wrapping up that mindfulness series with this sixth and final episode. Let's take a look at the last words from Lyrielle, that mysterious guide who came to me through Vickie Acklin with Reality Unmasked. And as with the other episodes, I will put the complete message in the description below. One of the last sentences Lyrielle says is, "One last reminder, the quiet moments you cherish are not just for reflection, but for renewal. In those spaces, I am closest to you, whispering guidance and love into your soul. Trust the signs you encounter, especially the small, unexpected ones. They are my way of affirming your path." These last words are a roadmap on how to be mindful. When we slip into silence, take that opportunity to cherish those moments of tranquility and stillness. Instead of rushing through life, treasure and appreciate these pauses, moment by moment, second by second. Breathe into that silence. And as you do, feel the air entering your body. Notice the rise and fall of your chest with each life-affirming breath you take and each breath you release. As you focus on those automatic body functions, think about that. Breathing is organic. It does not require thinking to breathe. We just do it. We just breathe. And when we focus on this automatic, life-sustaining activity, everything else drops away. We release those hamster wheel thoughts that run through our minds hour by hour, sometimes minute by minute. There is such wisdom in these words as Lyrielle reminds us that these quiet moments offer not only self-reflection, but renewal. Think about that. Renewal, healing. I don't know about you, but I always welcome healing, whether it's physical, emotional, mental, or ancestral. But let's not stop there. When we quiet our minds, that is a clarion call to our angels and guides, announcing that we are ready to listen to them. Being ready to listen is key. Everyone has access to these messages, but whether we hear them depends on us. A prerequisite is usually, not always, but usually being quiet and still. Messages are usually subtle. I want you to imagine yourself in a crowded room. You hear lively conversations. People are laughing. Maybe they're shouting across the room when someone else enters. But with this hustle and bustle, think about how easy it is to miss someone who is whispering. So now let's freeze frame that scene. Let's take everyone out of that room except you. No outside noises. What do you hear? There's no loud conversations or laughter. Nothing is abrupt. I can tell you right now, what I hear is the quiet ticking of my clock. The silence in this room right now is almost deafening. Next, something might enter my mind. A name, a place, a feeling, a date. It's so odd when that happens. My first thought is usually a question. Where did that come from? Because I know it did not come from me. Years ago, I would toss that information aside. I would discount it and label it as unimportant. But now I see things differently. When information arrives that does not relate to what you are doing in that present moment, take time to settle into that space. Don't let it pass. Take a deep breath. Reverend Michelle Love, a gifted medium who spends part of each year here in Naples, Florida, where I live, she says those things that you think you're making up are important. You do not relate to them because you are not supposed to relate to them. She says, which is brilliant, to make a folder in your brain and label it spiritual experiences. These are messages for others, not you. But don't kid yourself. They are not nonsensical, even though you cannot make sense of them. You're not supposed to. Michelle encourages her mediumship students to discover what their instrument is. In other words, how do they take that music score and interpret it? Are they a trumpet, a drum? Perhaps they're a violin that connects with the vibrations of the message. Each bit of information that goes into that new spiritual experiences folder in your brain tells you about you and your instrument. And as that file grows, you begin to learn what your tricks of the trade are, how you take the 5D information and translate that into this 3D world. You learn more about your instrument and how it integrates within the orchestra. So if you hear a whispered conversation, be still and open to receive more. If it really doesn't make any sense, settle into the stillness. Ask for clarity. But know that these things that you automatically want to put in the nonsense file actually belong in the spiritual experiences file. In Lyrielle's message, she says that she is closest to me in these spaces, whispering guidance. Okay, I get that, whispering. But she also says whispering love into my soul. Not just whispering the words, but look at the difference. Whispering love into my soul. Let's look at the first part, whispering love. Whispering is the subtlety. Love, compassion, those are very high vibrational frequencies. And why does that matter? When we are connecting to higher vibrations, our energy bodies begin to acclimate to them. We gain a larger perspective and we realize we can actually use our senses differently than what we do in the 3D. In other words, we are moving from this dense 3D environment to a field of energy that surrounds us, a field of energy of unity where everything is connected. When Lyrielle whispers that subtle energy of love, higher vibrations to pull us through the veil, not to us, but into our souls, I want you to consider what she is saying. She's not just giving directions to the mall or what road to take to the grocery store. These are words that guide us on our path to wisdom. These are the directions for a more fulfilling life. These are words that she whispers into our souls. These are the things that really matter. In the next sentence, Lyrielle says, trust the signs you encounter. especially the small, unexpected ones. They are my way of affirming your path. This is Lyriel's heads up on validations. Those signs that we encounter, the ones that make us say, that's interesting. Now, instead of brushing these signs away like they're just a meaningless coincidence, I want you to embrace and celebrate them as coincidences. Let me explain by sharing something I read years ago from the late Wayne Dyer. It just makes so much sense to me. Dyer told others to look at the root word in coincidence. That root word is coincide. In geometry, when two angles coincide, they are a perfect match. So now when I experience a coincidence, I stop and I realize the beauty and the significance of this alignment. Yes, it is a perfect match. It is not meaningless or haphazard. It confirms, as Lyrielle says, that I am on the right path for me. And Lyrielle tells us to trust those signs, especially those small, unexpected ones. That is her affirmation. That is her confirmation for us. I look at it as the nudge. It's her pat on the back that we are on the right path for our soul's journey. And this is truly a time to celebrate. Using the wisdom from Lyrielle, take a moment or two each day to look at something in nature. We covered this topic in an earlier episode from her message. But when you're in nature, relax, allow your senses to operate beyond their 3D limitations. Whether you're feeling a cool breeze on a hot day or watching clouds in the sky, feeling raindrops land on your hands, or observing a flower, take time to really see it, feel it, sense it while smiling. As Lyrielle said earlier, that energy surrounding this endeavor is vibrant and aligned. So let that sink in. Using that alignment that coincides with us, be still and ask if there's a message for you. Then observe what comes next. Is it a feeling? Do you get a text message or a phone call? What's the next song on the radio? Do you look down and notice a feather at your feet? Perhaps it's an important dream that comes that night. Our angels and guides speak to us in a variety of ways. And until we learn to fine tune our instruments, these messages come to us in multiple ways. They keep bombarding us until we get it. Lyrielle's messages guided this series on mindfulness. She tried to reach me. I was not available. So what did she do? She reached out to Vickie Acklin with a message. When one door closes, she tried another one. Now, Lyrielle's messages end with these two sentences. You are deeply loved, Candice, and your work resonates far beyond what you perceive. Walk forward with trust, knowing that all you need is already within you. This message is not for me, it's for all of us. Trust. Know that you are enough. Know that whatever you need, you already have. I hope you enjoyed this series on mindfulness. A debt of gratitude goes to Vickie Acklin from realityunmasked.com for being the messenger, for receiving these important words from Lyrielle, and trusting the information enough to reach out and share it with me. Remember the importance of kindness. Walk through life with a smile on your face, and let's change the world one smile at a time. Feel free to like, share, and subscribe. And until next time, goodbye.